Catherine.
Oh, yes, and everything's being recorded. I should add that now.
So apparently the participants cannot hear the beeps, only hosts and co-hosts.
Well, we'll move forward and see how things go. Before we start with some talking sections, I'd like to introduce you to two wonderful musicians that I get to work with here in California all the time. Playing fiddle, Lisa Doyle, and piano, Gary Thomas. Let's give them a big hand. Yay! Thank you. It's great that they're here supporting TAC in this event and supporting me teaching. Going to do as discussion is difficult, I'm basically going to talk about some ideas, and if you have questions, you can present them, but with this many people, it's kind of difficult to manage. But first we're going to talk about re-entry into teaching, because this particular session is for teachers. I think we're all eager to get back to it. Some of you may already have. We had hoped here to start next month, but that's kind of on hold now again. But as we do get started, what do we want to bear in mind? We have a bunch of people that have been exercising all the way through. They're going to be ready to dance almost full blast, except dance is a bit different than hiking. Some people haven't done a thing during this time, and their muscles are going to have atrophied considerably. So we want to think about that as we're planning how our classes will work. So what I invite you to do is really use your eyes a lot extra to watch for muscle fatigue. Watch for any type of fatigue, because there's likely to be more injuries now than we've had in some time. Also might want to consider dances that don't have a lot of sharp turns or turnabout, but are a bit more smooth. Or dances that are in maybe 3 or 4 couple sets that have plenty of tacit moments for dancers, so they're standing, listening, and then joining in, so there's a good opportunity to rest. Dances that have tricky transitions, physical transitions, where we're changing a feet. I'm not saying avoid changes of feet, but just be aware how you approach them, and I'll talk about that in just a couple of minutes. Let me look at my list here. Yes, a gradual acclimation. Take your time in building up from the not so physical to the more and more physical. And you can stay at the same place for a month before you ramp it up a bit. They're only coming out to dance once, or some people maybe twice a week. So it won't be a quick change. So we want to take very great care that we're looking after our dance community. Oh yes, and folk will be so excited to come back. They are not apt to exercise caution. So teachers, we have to take that in mind. Make sure that we talk to our classes. Take it easy. Ramp it up very, very gradually. On this subject, is there something that someone really has a question about? I'm walking over to see if I'm getting anything from my co-boss. Allison, anything I need to know?
Not yet. I'm going to take, unless there's something pertinent to what you're doing just at that minute, I'm going to just collect the questions and then
Exactly.
do them at the end. Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. So a couple of people contacted me about topics that they wanted me to present today. And one of them has to do with people hearing the beat and dancing on the beat. How do you make that happen? First of all, we need to be aware of why it doesn't happen. Some people just aren't coordinated. And we really have to bear in mind that they think, they move, and by the time their foot is down, it might be late. The next time they might try it a bit faster, they might be early. So we need to make sure that people are very relaxed. So you start with maybe walking. Can they stay in time to the music? Then how can you help them stay in time to the music? Going to do a little exercise right now, and it's just walking, and with maybe 8 bars of music, walk for 4 steps, and then just lilt right and left in a relaxed waltz style. Could I have 8 bars, please? Ready, and walk. 1, 2, 3, 4. Thank you very much. That allows them to move and you to watch without a lot of effort going into their movements. Also, you can see if they can stay in time. Now let's look at what other things cause people to dance off time. Hard of hearing. They actually don't hear the beat. They have an irregular heartbeat, so it's difficult to get the sense of a beat. Something I discovered a few years ago with a student, that people with a regular heartbeat as they sleep typically keep a pretty regular heartbeat. That gives them the ability to utilize that in their waking hours. So people with an irregular heartbeat have a more difficult time. And then there's the ASD side of things. People who are someplace on the spectrum of autistic, it could be Asperger's, but different connection to hearing and physical movement. And again, you just have to repeat things. And it might take, one lad I've taught, it's taken 11 years. He can now dance right on time with the music. Most examples don't take quite that long, though. So, as people are moving around, you want to watch that they're landing on beat, and maybe have half the class clap and half the class walk. Then trade and keep going back and forth. Because those who are clapping are improving their ability to find the beat, as well as those who are walking. We usually can use our hands a bit better than our feet. So if people are having difficulties finding a beat with their hands, you know you have to dig a little bit deeper for help. For example, picking a piece of music, sending it home with them and letting them listen to it. And maybe just, relax, tap your foot, clap your hands. See if they can find the beat over time by listening to the same piece many times. And then exchange it for something else. Sometimes an irregular leg length can lead to problems with dancing on time, because they're moving faster than when they walk. And so we might find a slight difference there. So just things to keep your eyes open for. I really like using clapping a lot and walking a lot. The physical connection works for some. You know, join hands, link arms, and promenade hold, so you have that sense of rhythm. It is great for some people. For those who are brand new, that might not be physically comfortable. So you have to take great care and balance out what works for your class. Two other points. One is to have an individual who has difficulty follow someone, so they're watching someone dance or walk in front of them, and see if they can mirror that, or mimic that, I should say. And then also, the most important maybe point of all, some people will never dance on time to the music. That is a fact. And you need to find that in your heart to not worry about it. They want to come out and dance, bless their socks. Hopefully you can get them more and more on time to the music through one of these particular things. There's no magic to getting people to dance in time to music, but just practice. And the practice will be good for everyone, so it's a good part at the beginning of a class. And if it's not maintained during the class, again, don't worry about it. If they can start getting it, they'll get more and more and more. Maybe they need you as a teacher to be clapping out just the beat, not the whole thing, too much. Da-yuppa-da-yuppa-da-da, for example. Or just the beginning of each bar. Ha-yuppa-da-da-da-yuppa-dee-da. The most basic would most likely be the most helpful for getting people on the beat. Going on to subject number 3. This is becoming a hotter topic right now, and it has to do with gender labels. Will the RSCDS change theirs? I don't know, and I don't know if that's important for us to worry about. We might find that we have needs in our classes to adjust our gender names because it will help the class feel more comfortable. And the fact is, it's not a big deal, and it's not difficult to do. And so I'm going to take a dance and teach it in that style. First, I'm going to give you some language. The side of the set that has their left shoulder to the music is the left file. Those who are on the other side, who have their right shoulder to the music, are the right file. Then we have first diagonal. From first left file's place to second right file's place, first diagonal. Second diagonal, that's in a two-couple situation. In a three-couple situation, we already have our answer because we call them our first corners. So they're not gender-specific, they're our first corners. When it comes to things that have a gender name in it, for example, ladies' chain would simply be a second diagonal chain. Making a first diagonal chain, a men's chain. So the language isn't all that difficult. This I'm borrowing from the Heather and Rose people in Oregon. I've taught for them a number of times. It's efficient, it's easy. And if you have a class that has a lot more men than women or a lot more women than men, it's nice not to call the people who are filling out the other side of the set by the opposite gender. It's not really helpful. Now, I don't teach my classes the way I'm going to teach this, but I will if necessary because it's quite easy. So please take your places at the top of the set as either first man or first woman. I got ahead of myself. Back up. We're going to walk some foot transitions. We're going to have walking, skip, change, similar to what I did a moment ago, but walking the skip, change. We're going to go forward, hop, step, close step, hop, step, close step, pas de pas, pas de pas. Hop, step, close step, hop, step, close slip, 2, 3, stop. I'll walk that again. 2 skip change of step to begin, and hop, step, close step, and set with the right. Now the left, skip change of step, skip change of step, close slip, slip, step, stop. And we'll do that with 8 bars of music, just walking it through. Ready? And skip, change, step, skip, change, set, skip, change, slip, 4. Once again, same thing please. 5, ready, and skip, change, set, skip, change, slip, 4. Those are all of the foot changes in this dance. For the first left and fourth right, at the end of the slip steps, they'll be ready to go back into skip change of step. Now let's take our places in the set. The new Jubilee Jig is a takeoff on the original in preparation for celebrations for 2023. And I've had this idea going on in my head for a long time, how to make it work, and this last year I finally got that to happen. First left and fourth right will cast one place as their neighbor steps up one place or steps down one place. And here we are facing each other on a diagonal, set to each other, and turn by the right hand once round for 4 skip change of step. So here I am in second, left, and fourth is in fourth right, or third right place. Let's try that all together. We'll walk that with 8 bars of music. Ready, and cast. 1, 2, set. Right hand turn. Releasing hands and plenty of time to easily dance out to the sidelines. The same thing, I'm going to step now into fourth right, so you can watch the same thing happening. The very same, please. Ready, and cast up. Set, right hand turn. And there we are. So that's the first 8 bars. second 8 bars, I'm going to become fourth left. Because now the opposite diagonal will repeat that. Cast one place, they'll step out of the way, set on the diagonal, and lo and behold, turn by the left hand once round, and end where you started that turn. So for those of you who are in groups and have 4 couples up dancing, this is all practical. For all of those who are dancing as soloists at home, as teachers, I think this will benefit, but you might not need to walk each part. However, I've asked the musicians to play it 4 times through when the time comes, so that you can dance every part of the dance. With 8 bars of music, the second 8 bars of the dance. Ready, and cast. 1, 2, set. Left hand turn. Right, so dancing the first 16 bars together does not give any one dancer any benefit. 2 dancers dance the first 8 bars, 2 other dancers dance the next 8 bars. So now we're going to look at what's next. Are you getting warm? I am. We're going to do a 2-couple bourrelle in jig time. Thanks to Bob Campbell for giving us the burl formation in the first place, now renamed the bourrelle. I'd like you to note that fourth left and first right have just turned by the right or left hand once round. We are the 2 dancers who are going to dance on the outside of the set around to meet our partners, set to them, and turn by the right hand out to our own place, or our own sides rather. So we've progressed again in the middle. While the first left and fourth right who've done their cast, set, and turn right hand, they will be the 2 who set advancing, but it's after they have 8 bars to rest. Because we set advancing as our partners dance around us. Right hand turn, 2 skip change to face our partners in a line up and down the middle. Set and turn by the right hand out to our own sides on 7 and 8. We have the third 8 bars, and now I'm going to go back being first left, where we would normally, from the top of the step, set, I ended here, waited 8 bars, and now ready to start the bourrelle. 5, 6, 7, 8, set, advancing, turn, set, right hand turn again. And now I will take fourth left's place and dance the other positions. The same 8 bars, please, for the bourrelle. Ready, and chase round, 2, 3, 4, set, right hand turn out to the side. Now at that moment, if we just kept our momentum going, we could flow into a circle, 8 hands round and back. And what a wonderful way to celebrate a Scottish country dance is to have everyone facing into the center and dancing with each other to finish. We're going to take the last 16 bars. I am first left. I will end in third left, because I've already progressed in the first 8 bars of the dance. Bourrelle and circle, the final 16 bars. Ready, and set, advancing, right hand turn, set, right hand turn, flow into the circle, exactly. So, you're teachers, you walk through dozens of dances all the time. So I'm going to have a quick sip of water and invite you to do the same, and we'll take this dance 4 times through. And you can go back and dance it from the same place each time, but I think you should challenge yourselves to dance it from each position. So be aware that we have for the first and fourth couples 2 progressions in the dance. So with the bow and curtsy, we'll have the new Jubilee Jig. Thank you. Down the diagonal. Face set. Left hand turn. Morale. Right hand turn, out a long diagonal. They dance the burrell. Everyone circle. Well, I made it back home. Did any of you? It was a nice, easy dance to get us rolling in this virtual TAC Summer School and Teachers Weekend, all combined into one thing, really. As we continue, I'll add a little bit more challenge as we do each dance. Would you please take a moment, just a quick catch your breath, relax just a moment before we move into a strathspey.
Ron, is this a good time for a couple of questions?
Yes.
To what you have talked about? So the first one is from Melissa Whitson. Do you have any suggestions for folks who can walk in time, but once they start dancing, revert to their autopilot dance rhythm, which may not be on the beat of the music?
So my response to that is if they can walk in time, over time, one should be able to get them to dance in time. I think they're an overload. If they're thinking about the formation, it's difficult to think about the footwork. And I think that if you associate the walking part with the dancing part a lot, going from walking into the dancing, let's say in circles, straight lines, whatever, that will help get you there. But there, again, there's no magic, because a lot of people, that's when they lose their footwork and dancing on time. So thinking about, where do I have to go? And with that one question, their feet might stop moving altogether, or any messaging. So they have to be real comfortable with the steps and with the formation before we can get those two things together. So I suggest more steps outside of formations, and then the simplest of formations with them. Not like rights and lefts or hands across and back. Those have kind of more difficult foot things in them. More like lead down the middle and up. There's only one significant transition in it. Or even weaving around people. The pattern of a reel of 3, a reel of 4 means no change of direction. So they could be practicing walking that first, and then skipping it. And if they can get that far, by the next time, by adding skip change, you have a good chance of getting there. But as usual, cross your fingers and hope. Yes, anything else?
Thank you very much. There was one comment relating to your talk about the physical fatigue because of maybe not having danced. From
Right.
Ward, she commented that she has noticed mental fatigue, that they've started back in-person dancing in DC area, and they have noticed that people's brains seem to shut off after a 1-hour class.
I'm not surprised to hear that, especially those who haven't been doing weekly Zoom dance classes. And so that gives you an opportunity of repeating another dance. So if they don't have to do yet one other thing new that evening, you can maybe squeak in a little bit more dancing. So the dance at the beginning, do as a finale. I think you might find for quite a while, an hour might be the max that you can dance. Good luck with that.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you, Ron. And one last question from Sue Ronald relating to the non-gender terms. She has asked, how would you recap the dance using non-gendered terms?
So the dance that I just taught, for example.
Yes, that would be fine.
Okay. Give me just a moment here. No, the new Jubilee Jig, a 32-bar jig for 4 couples in a long Y set. First left and fourth right cast one place as their neighbors step into their position. And then on the diagonal, first left and second right set, and turn by the right hand once round back to their own sides of the set. First right and fourth left repeat the same, but turning by the left hand. Ones and twos dance the bourrelle. All 4 couples circle 8 hands round and back. So there's an example on that. Some seem at first like they're going to be very tricky. And you think, we say first man, 2 one-syllable words. Saying first left is just a new habit. It's not more. Saying first right is shorter than saying first woman, first right. And something I like to throw in, pardon me, is a little bit of a chuckle maybe, is that of course on what we call the women's side is right file, because let's face it, women are always right. You're far enough away that those of you who want to kick me or slap me can't do it, but it helped me at first because some people are right and left challenged. But it can be a way to speed up the learning of right and left.
Right. Thank you. That's everything so far.
Okay, and just one other note about Heather and Rose. They also have a different method of taking partners, or rather not taking partners, to form sets. Now it's kind of falling into disuse a bit, but I want to throw it out there because sometimes you have a class and people have difficulties asking. And so you go onto the dance floor and you go to the shortest line. If there's no one up there, you just pick which side you're going to be on. So for example, I walk up to the top of the set and I step into first right. The next person that walks onto the dance floor takes position opposite, and they keep filling out the set that way. What that means is that we are not learning to only dance on one side of the set, and gender really starts to disappear as an issue in the dance. We still use the same roles that, for example, in an allemande, it's the left file side of the set that lifts the arm up over the head of the right file, because the formations aren't changing, just how we refer to them. And I find that that little taking or not taking partners thing can be a very useful thing. Now, if you have a long line, if you're doing I would have everyone step forward then to make sure that everyone is a partner until they get used to the concept of lining up with the last person who joined the set. That's kind of a fun approach to things. And a quick word to our people running things. I'm no longer seeing anything on my screen, but for example, your name, Allison, is covering my whole screen. Earlier, I was seeing the class. Did you hear that, Allison?
Sorry, yes, I did. That's interesting. Well, we have you on, we have you on Spotlight, which means that Is this different? now?
I was there for a second, now it's back to Allison again.
Okay. Someone says go to speaker view, upper right.
I am. I'm already on speaker view.
Yeah, okay.
That's why I brought this up.
Yeah,
So
sorry.
I don't need to see the class. We'll just keep moving on, and we're going to continue with the Strathspey. And this one has an interesting little story. It's a very new dance. One of our RSCDS teachers, examiners, was given for her birthday a little plot of land in Scotland, which allows her to be called Lady Ellen of Stonebridge, which is our own Ellie Briscoe. And so here's a 32-bar Strathspey that was written in honor of her birthday this year. And we're ready to get started. Let's have 8 bars of the music just to put us in the muse too. Ready, and. Another wonderful tune from the incredibly talented Muriel Johnston. Thanks, Muriel, for the music. Very inspiring to write a dance. We're going to practice a couple of maneuvers before we get into the dance. And just first, in the Strathspey setting in this dance, we do want to take care to end in third rear aerial each time. It helps keep it safer so that we're not apt to trip someone else up. So we want to take great care that we have step, close, step, lift, step, close, step, lift. Each time, even if we're turning a little bit during that. So just walk that for a reminder, and reach, close, reach, lift, reach, close, reach, lift. Slight variation. Now I'll turn sideways now, and you can do the same. We're going to set advancing. Step, close, step, lift, step, close, step, lift. Would you all please join me in that? I'm not asking for music right now because it's only 2 bars worth, 2 bitsy. Ready, and reach right, close, right, lift, left, close, left, lift. I think you'll find that's pretty simple, not for new beginners, but for all of you experienced teachers, or even newly crowned teachers. Now, but we're going to change it a bit. We're going to zig, and as we zag, pull back our right shoulder to face the person that we just passed. Let's practice that. Ready, and to the right, 2, 3. Start pulling back immediately. You don't have to square off because we're going to go into a 2-hand turn. So back we go to do that once again, and off to the right, and off to the left. And the 2-hand turn will be halfway, nice and round, 3, and open up to face up. Now, if you're on the gentleman's side, you'll notice you don't have far to go in a half turn. But remember, your partner has to turn the rest of the way around to face up. So you want to facilitate that. And the main way to do that is if you all gently pull with your right hand. That will pull me around in the direction we're going, and I'll pull my partner, but it'll help keep the shape so it's big. If it flattens, we'll get there sooner. So it's big and round. Turn, release for the last bar, and there you are. So with the first 4 bars of music, we're going to zigzag setting, pulling back right shoulder, and the 2-hand turn. Ready, and set. Right, left, pull back. Turn, open up. And there's a moment where I'll often cheat a little bit, and that is as I come around, no place to go, and my partner's still turning, I just move up the set just a little bit. So just a little bit of a cheat. Same thing again, please. Now I'm moving up right to the top of my set, because this is what first couple will do to start the dance. 4 bars again, please. Ready, and set right, set left, pull back, 2-hand turn, face place as the second couple steps up on 5 and 6. And we're just going to set advancing zigzag to face our first corners. 7, 2, 3, 8, 2, 3. So we were up at the top, near our hands joined, ready for the last 4 bars of that first musical phrase. Cast for 2 and set advancing. Ready, and it's out. Set. Back to original places, let's put those first 8 bars of Lady Ellen of Stonebridge together. So, how do we start? Zig, zag, pulling back, 2-hand turn, cast 1 place, and set advancing to end back to back. Ready, and set right. Pull back and turn. Set advancing. Right. So is that absolute perfection? Let's try it right away again. Make sure it's absolutely simple. Same thing. Ready, and set right. Here we are facing our first corners. The second figure of the dance is set to and turn corners, but in a very different fashion. We're going to set using the zigzag pull back, 2-hand turn to allow the corners to return home, but first couple will pass right shoulders to move on to the second corners. So there's a very important ingredient there. You're facing your first corner, we zig, pull back, the corners on the inside of the set. You're going to start your turn with both hands and then release both hands 3 and 4 so that we can then repeat. Set and zag. Again, 2-hand turn and then release and dance to your own side of the set. All right? Facing first corners, let's all walk that. So set advancing to pass left shoulders, set to the right, pull back. So now you join hands and you start the turn, release, pass by and repeat. Set right and left, pull back, and again turn, release, and dance to the sides. With the second 8 bars, let's dance that turn, set to and turn corners with extras. Ready, and set right to dancing, pull back, turn. Now I'm not quite making it home because I don't really need to. I'm going to then flow into the next thing. Let's go ahead and take that once again. You're back to back in the middle facing your own first corners. Ready, and. Ready to go into the next thing that happens. So now let's have the first 16 bars. Set to pass by, 2-hand turn, cast, set advancing, and then the corner figure you've just practiced. Ready, and it's zig to the right, zag to the left, turn, cast 1 place, 2 step up, set advancing, and zig again. Continue with is a circle. I want to make sure I'm giving you all the right bits. Yeah, piece of cake. So we're going to flow into a circle for 2 bars. So we're going to travel right 2, 3, left 2, 3. The men are facing down, the women are facing up. And giving right hands all cross with the person you're facing. And continue the circle 2 bars to the left. You're all on your own side. And now all 3 couples turn by the right hand halfway and face down, ending in Allemande hold. So we have 3 couples lined up for that. Okay, so here we are on the own side of the set. First couple in second place, circle for 2, cross up and down, circle for 2, cross up, or turn your partner into Allemande hold. And you'll notice at that point, the 3s are at the top, 1s are in second place, and 2s are in third place. The third 8 bars, please. Ready, and... Now, a caution about that turn into Allemande hold. You do have 2 bars. 7, 2, 3. The woman has the longest turn, so don't start too early, but also you have to take care not to wait too long. So for the last bar, let her come under as you move just slightly forward, and then you'll be in Allemande hold, as though you were going to do a knot, but we won't. So let's have the circle, cross, circle, turn. The 30 bars again, please. Ready, and circle 1, 2, cross up and down. Circle left again. Half turn, 7, 2, 3, 8, 2, 3. We have completed the Allemande hold at the end of that phrase. So to start the Allemande, the arms don't have to move. Now we are going to do a 3-couple Allemande with a slight difference at the end. Yes, we're facing down. In a 3-couple Allemande, a standard one, which the first 6 bars are standard, the first or the leading couple steps out to the right and turns to face the women's side. Now they're in front of me, so I'm not demonstrating that right now. But we dance out and they've turned. They'll dance across the set and face down as we follow. And they'll dance a long step down the set and another long one down the set. We're all facing down. We'll face the women's line and in and under. No change yet whatsoever. The last 2 bars, release right hand and cross to your own side of the set. 7 and 8, and your order is 2, 1, 3. Back in order again. So let's have the last 8 bars, the Allemande with music, remembering that there's a couple in front of me and a couple behind me. Ready, and... Now we can connect those last 2 pieces, the circle and the Allemande. So the last 16 bars of the dance, please. Ready, and circle 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1. I think we're ready to put the entire 32 bars together. Just for one turn of the dance, Lady Ellen of Stonebridge. First couple will set advancing and pull back right shoulder. Turn 2 hands and open out facing the top. Cast to second place as 2 step up on 5 and 6, and 1 set advancing to face first corners. Set 2 and turn corners using the advancing and pulling back right shoulder. Circle and cross, circle and turn, Allemande, crossing to your own side. Lady Ellen of Stonebridge, 32 bars, please. Ready, and it's set to the right, set to the left, turn halfway, face up, and 2 step up, 1 set advancing to face first corners. Set advancing again, pull back, turn, pass, circle, and turn into Allemande, hold. Very nice. And now, as we get ready for 3 times through the dance, again, I'd like to offer you the challenge of the first time, dance it as 1s. The second time, dance it as 2s. And the third time, dance it as 3s. That's what I will do here for your sake. So if you're doing that, you can follow. But if you're doing the first repetition of the dance 3 consecutive times, don't watch me for the second and third times. So Mel Briscoe, thank you for the request for this dance. I hope you enjoy it. Lady Ellen of Stonebridge, 3 times through. So bow and curtsy to begin. One set advancing. I need to remember to cross over giving left hands to finish the dance there in third place. Good, 3 times through. That was Lady Ellen of Stonebridge. Take a moment again to relax, get something to drink, refresh yourselves. We'll have just a couple of minute break now. So it's the left eagle, the bald eagle. Just sitting there waiting for the next thing to happen. Well, why don't you play like a couple of tunes? Like the first 2 tunes maybe? Or the last 2 tunes if you prefer. To help you with your break, you're going to get a couple of tunes to listen to. They left you hanging there, didn't they? Yeah. That produces its own excitement. We're going to be continuing now with a reel to finish off our session today. I'm not sure if it's going to last quite until 3:30, but I'll stretch it out as best I can. I have a very dear friend who I put off, writing a dance for her for most likely almost 20 years now. And we had an experience in Cape Breton, Nova Scotia a few years ago. We were there for Celtic Colors, a group of us from here. And my good friend Elaine Brunken stopped us and patted us on the shoulder. What's that great big dark bird with a white head? And at first we thought she must be joking. I mean, how many dark birds with white heads do we have here in North America? But that one seemed to slip under the wire for her, so she hadn't seen one before. And on dollar bills, the dark and white don't show up too much, do they? She works in banking, so I use dollars as an example. So we've been pulling her leg now for the last 3 years about bald eagles. So this dance is called The Bald Eagle, and is for Elaine Brunken. The first tune for the dance was written by one of the younger members of our Santa Rosa dance community, Jared Bailey. And that was the first of the 2 tunes you heard a moment ago, and you'll hear it again in just a few minutes. We have a couple of formations that I know are favorites of hers that we're going to review. I've used them in this dance a bit differently than she has. The first is set and mirror link. And in this case, the couple at the top will be casting as the second couple dancing the inside and the long way into top place. So we're in real time. We will set 1 and 2. The 2s come up the middle as the 1s cast off. They long way around and facing their partner. 4 bars. I'm going to walk it now from second place. We set 1, 2, then up the middle and the long way round. If you find you can comfortably join hands there for a moment, you may. It's not usually done in set and mirror link. But when it works beautifully, I say go for it. With the music, we're going to dance set and mirror link. First from first place, and then take a break, and then again from second place. The first 4 bars, please. Ready, and set. 1, 2, 3, 4. And now the same thing from second place. Ready, and set. 1, 2. And there you are. So ones have managed to make their way to second place, where we're going to launch into mid-phrase, another one of Elaine's favorite, and that's a progressive double figure of 8. So here we are in second place, and we're going to dance that with the 3s. We've had our moment with the 2s, now the 3s get our attention. To do this formation, while the third couple sets in place, the 1s cross over. And now from here on, it's a regular double figure of 8, in that the 3s are crossing up diagonally as the 1s cast off. Then we cross up diagonally as the 3s cast off. They cross up diagonally as the 1s cast off. And our order is 2, 3, 1. That double figure of 8 again. So 1s cross. And that's a great feeling coming out of the set and mirror link. You cast and then right into the crossover into that. The 3s have been nicely standing still, so the first thing you do is set. Ready, and 1, 2, 3s cross up as 1s cast off. 1s cross up as 3s cast off. 1s cast off as 3s cross up. We're all on our own side of the set. With the second 8 bars of music, please. I'm sorry, no. We're starting with bar 5 through 12. Right. Progressive double figures of 8. Ready, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I started counting with 1 instead of counting with 5, didn't I? Whoops. The musicians are going to shoot me later. Same thing again. I'll try to start counting on 5 this time. Actually, let's move back to the set and mirror link, because then we can link them, and all of it will feel better. From the top to bar 12. Ready, and set, mirror link. 1s cross. And now the 3s and 1s are going to set and mirror link. Note the 1s are going to be doing the casting again. So the 3s will dance down the middle the long way into third place. So the last 4 bars, walk with me, set right and left. 1s from third place cast up, 3s down the middle, and we've changed places. And 1s end that figure second place on your own sides of the set. Let's add those last 4 bars with music, set and mirror link. Ready, and set. 1, 2, 3. Now let's put the first half of the dance together. Set and mirror link, progressive double figure of 8, set and mirror link. For 16 bars. Ready, and set. 1, 2, 3, 4, cross, 5, 6, cast. And this music sounds like it doesn't want to stop, which is a good thing because the dance isn't going to stop there. Right, let's go back into that one more time. And I'll go to the opposite side of the set as I demonstrate this time through, hoping that I can manage that. The first 16 bars, please. Ready, and it's set and mirror link. Progressive double figure of 8. Are we in our happy place? I hope so. Ones are in second place on your own side of the set, ready to continue. Ones are going to set advancing to pass right shoulder, or left shoulders, 1 and 2. So you can please all go ahead and do that, 1 and 2. Now we're going to pick up on bar 3 with the right-handed version of corners, pass, and turn. So now we launch into skip change of step, pass right shoulders, first corners turn by the right hand, and return to their place. And 3, 4, 5, and now we're going to end back-to-back ones in the middle facing the opposite side. So we didn't pass by each other to repeat it. And we're going to set 7 and 8. So we set advancing to begin. Ready, and set 1, 2, skip change 3, 4, 5, 6, set 7, and 8. And now with the third 8 bars of music, 1 set advancing, and then that first corner pass and turn into a double triangle situation. Ready, and set 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Since that's a little different, we're going to go ahead and do that right away again. 1 set advancing, then launch into skip change of step, corners ready to join in for the pass and turn, and then finally set on bars 7 and 8. Ready, and set 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now we're going to continue with a left-handed pass and turn. And ones, you'll pass your second corners by the left shoulder. Second corners will turn by the left hand to return home. And ones, you'll end right where you are now. Off you go, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, set 5, 6, and the corners continue to set as one's petronella turn to second place on your own side. The standard finish for the double triangles formation. So there we've done 4 bars of double triangles. So we started that back to back in the center, and we're ready to give left shoulder to our second corners for the final 8 bars of the dance. Ready, and it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And we've made it to second place on our own side, ready to repeat with the set and mirror link. So we want to think ahead to what the next thing in the dance is. Let's dance the 32 bars of the dance. Set and mirror link, double progressive figures of 8. Set and mirror link. First couple set advancing, with first corners pass and turn right to end back to back, and set as in double triangles. Then with second corners, a left shoulder and left hand pass and turn, and finish the dance with the last 4 bars of double triangles. From the top, 32 bars, please. Ready, and set 1. Link. Ones cross, 3 set. Set and mirror link. Set advancing. Pass, they turn. All set. Left shoulders. And set. And you've made it home. Now with this dance, again, I think it would be best if you challenged yourself to dance it once through from each position. It keeps the gray matter working, or someone commented, some of their dancers' gray matter isn't in the best of shape. So even as teachers, it helps us to gear up our gray matter. I feel that's happening to me with you right here today. And I'm like, oh, am I remembering the right stuff? It's easier when I see everyone in front of me to know what I'm going to teach next. In this case, I'm just hoping you're making it through. 3 times through, the bald Eagle. Music by Jared Bailey. I wrote the dance, and for Elaine Brunken. So the bow and curtsy 3 times through the bald eagle. Well, I sure did a lousy job of being 2s and 3s. I could pay attention to what the 1s are doing, so thank you for being patient with me. But we'll do that right away again. Take a quick sip of water first. And I did not find out, maybe someone can answer this question for me, are most people solos at home, or do you have people in groups dancing together? Do you know? Do you have the answer to that, Allison?
No, I don't.
Okay. Well, I think this time I'll be first
There's a whole
couple.
bunch of people saying solo. There are 2 solo, mostly solo.
Okay, I'll stay in first place because it'll help me out, and hopefully it'll
Right.
help more dancers out as well. As we take
I
the
have-
bald eagle, again, 3 times through.
Right. And then I have a couple of questions after you finish that dance.
After we finish it?
Sure,
Is that what you said, after?
sure.
Okay.
That would be fine. That's fine.
3 times through with a bow and curtsy. big hand for Lisa and Gary. Thank you so much. And now a question.
Yes. On the first corners pass and turn, are the corners standing for 2 bars, then turning on bars 3 to 6 of the phrase?
Right, because the first 2 bars, ones are setting, advancing. The pass and turn starts on bar 3.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. Thank you. Going back to before, do you perhaps, this is from Debbie Sanders, do you have a non-gender primer that you could share?
Basically, just what I said is about it. What I could do is write it down and see if we could get our wonderful folks with the TAC newsletter to include it or put it on the TAC website. I think that might be the best answer. Okay?
Yes, that's fine. Yes, lovely. Thank you.
Good.
And a question from Jeanette. How do you deal with dancers who insist on counting aloud while dancing? I find it very, very irritating and know that for some it can be very distracting. And then she has in brackets, yes, I'm a teacher.
Right. Well, I'll tell you, after 51 years of teaching, when that happens, I smile and think it's helping them or whatever, and maybe privately comment, you know that you're counting out loud. So they get a private comment to them and nothing in front of the class. If they keep on doing it, at the moment they can't control it. And I would say try to find the beauty in it. And if someone complains, ask them to do the same, because we all learn differently. And so we can't please everyone all the time. But we can do the best to be the healthiest community. And expecting everyone to behave in just one way isn't the answer, in my opinion. So I know that might not be the answer you wanted to hear, but it makes me smile because it means they're trying. They're really concentrating on something to think, hallelujah. You know, they're here. They're not thinking about the laundry or other stuff like that. So good luck with it, however.
Thank you very much. That's great.
Any other questions?
That's everything. That's all the questions. We're up to date.
All right. Well, I think we're finishing then a bit early. I guess I should apologize about that. In person, rarely do I end a class early or late, but it's different when I don't have your feet in front of me to feed me information, to give me more opportunities to repeat things. But I thank you all very much for your time and attention. I've really had a good time this afternoon, and I was very nervous about it because, of course, it's TAC, and you don't want to make too many big mistakes. And I guess I made enough of them that now I'm relaxed. And then again, having the wonderful music of Lisa and Gary, they start playing, and I'm at home, and I feel great. So best of luck to everyone in your re-entry into teaching or more dancing or whatever you're up to. And my heart goes out to you with all those little problems that come up. My email address is included in TAC's listing, and feel free to email me if you have a specific question or problem you're having difficulties resolving. But you'll most likely do more of what you're doing, but do it in such a loving way that they don't think they're being corrected. They're being led along, pulled into it, and you want to lure them in, and it feels the best.
All right. Well, thank you, Ron. I don't want to interrupt, but I'd like to extend my thanks on behalf of everyone who is here, and who has come and gone over the course of the hour and a bit, for a really stimulating and exciting class with some really interesting ideas and some extremely lovely dances, which we could see the formations, even though there's only one of you. You made a whole set. So.
Whoops. I didn't think I'd gained that much weight.
No,
right.
no.
And can we include these dances also with TAC's either website or newsletter?
I think that would be a grand idea. I will be in touch, and we will get the dances that are done at summer school put up the way that the dances at summer school are always put up.
Good.
There you go.
So I'll prepare them and I'll forward them to you.
All right. That sounds fantastic. Thank you, Ron.
Great.
And thank you everyone for coming. Don't forget the dance at 5 o'clock. We expect you there. Put on your glad rags and come out. Don't forget the silent auction, and please don't forget the quiz, which closes at midnight. And of course, come back tomorrow. And thank you again. Thank you to Gary and to Lisa. The music was wonderful. We appreciate it very much, having live music. Again, it's sort of like being at summer school in real life. So thank you so much, everyone, and see you in a little bit for the welcome dance.
Thanks.
Thank you, and I will stop.